So a slew of images started showing up from Figure King magazine, and these images give us a whole bunch of different Masterpiece related news. We're going to go through this segment by segment. The first one, and the one that obviously we're the most excited about, is they gave a beautiful prototype pictorial of Masterpiece Beast Wars Megatron.
Woo.
And yeah, it's a really good pictorial. It shows the robot mode, it shows the T-Rex mode, it shows the scale next to its other Masterpiece toys, with the exception of Cheetor, but next to Dinobot and Convoy, aka Optimus Primal. It shows the different facial expressions that he's going to come with. The only thing it doesn't show is if he has other extra accessories, but what's a really cool thing too is if you actually translate the text that is accompanied with this, there's something really interesting that's mentioned here. And it says, there's like a speech bubble, and it says, "I want to talk to," and it says, "Haha, I can finally speak." And I think it implies, and this is something that we talked about before when we first discussed this toy, about how it has a hollow chest, and they're not going to have to reinvent the wheel too much when doing this, that they could put electronics or accessories because of how much space there is. I think that there's going to be a voice gimmick with this. And there was another mention, a small little piece of text that if you translate it, it pretty much translates to, "In the next issue, now we have Megatron with voice gimmick. Beast Wars shall enter a new phase, ? Exclamation mark." Now, this pretty much confirms that, yes, this toy talks, but it also makes me wonder, is the next issue of Figure King magazine next month, is it going to reveal more plans for Beast Wars stuff in the future? Because it says Beast Wars shall enter a new phase, ? Exclamation point. So, or is it just saying, oh, now we have this Beast Wars toy that talks, this might be a future of Masterpiece toys that will talk also.
Which would be pretty interesting.
The only thing that, the only thing that just is, the only thing that's on my mind with this is, the unfortunate thing is, it's going to talk, but it's a Japanese toy. So it's probably going to be the voice acting of Beast Wars Megatron from Japan, if I had to take a guess, which unfortunately, for people who don't know, Beast Wars' dubbing process in Japan was done more on a comedy kind of standpoint, and all the characters kind of had little verbal tics that were related to whatever animals they were. So, to give an example, because Rat Trap is a mouse or a rat, he would always finish his sentences with chew, which is kind of like squeak. So it's almost like instead of Rat Trap going, better dead than pred, it would be more like, squeak.
Exactly.
Better dead than squeak.
Well, he wouldn't go, he'd be like, better dead than pred, squeak.
Squeak,
it was... he wouldn't have that, the mannerisms in his speech, the way, the way he's speaking doesn't sound a little bit ratty, a little bit mousy,
And even in the case, to then go back to, let's say, to Beast Wars Megatron, he constantly was using a verbiage where he would always say watashi, and watashi is like, it's almost kind of like speaking in the third person, which he kind of did.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Kinda, not completely, but kinda did. But he would constantly say watashi, watashi at the beginning of his sentences. And one thing that he always did in the Japanese dub, which I was personally not a fan of, and it was played up totally for laughs, was you could picture in your mind David Kay's scream when he goes, like where it's like if it's, Rhinox farting on him, or when he's falling from a cliff or something, that David Kay yell in pain for Beast Wars Megatron. What they did for the Japanese version is whenever he screamed, it was the shriek of a woman.
Oh.
And again, totally played up for laughs. Like, oh, when he screams, it's the scream of a woman. Like, I don't even want to replicate it, But
that reminds me of Blue Mountain State, where the main, I don't think he was the quarterback, but he's like one of the main linebackers. He's like this big, buff, blonde guy. I forgot the name of the actor, but he plays Raphael in the Michael Bay movies.
Okay.
Yeah, but like he's like, he looks very tough and intimidating, but he's like more comedic. And whenever he would his gimmick with that, he would scream really loud,
well,
as a woman. Like,
if anything, it reminds me of Ned Flanders.
Oh.
You know, when he would do his scream and he would be like a woman scream. Now, getting back to actually, like, you know, so we know about this voice gimmick. Getting back to what now we have visually here, this T-Rex mode looks great. Again, it's no surprise really, because to be fair, the original T-Rex mode from the previous toys did a great job of hiding the kibble and everything. So no surprise here that all they're doing is there's just more cuts for more articulation and everything. But otherwise, I mean, it looks great. The T-Rex head is just gorgeous. I mean, I can't wait to see these in colors. It shows there's a base here. I don't really know if the base is something that's going to be included, or is it something that's just they're just showing for whatever reasons. I mean, this is a character that I don't know. Is it going to have stability issues standing up? The original toy really didn't. So
yeah, and this is pretty top heavy too. If you look at the head and the T-Rex head and the tail, basically.
Maybe because if there's electronics in the head and stuff, that might lead to then the heaviness in the head and stuff, because it won't be hollow. But otherwise, I mean, it looks absolutely spectacular. From the back, it looks like, you know, they showed from the back of the toy too, so it doesn't have like terrible kibble. It looks great. Everything folds nicely. Again, this was a toy that was more or less perfect from day one back in 1996. Just like G1 Shockwave, there was very little you had to really do to make this toy already perfect. So this is something that...
And they removed a lot too, in the sense of like, you know, the mouth shooting out stuff, the side thigh pieces shooting out stuff, you know, so it makes it a lot easier to
They
do what they
removed
need to
the
do.
90s gimmickry, in the sense that they're like, well, it doesn't need to spray water now.
Yeah,
you know?
exactly.
So now we could give it an actual molded, you know, tongue and face and everything. It doesn't have to shoot spring-loaded missiles, you know. So now we could just kind of give him the more, you know, cannon-looking hip tumors, whatever you want to call them, hip weapons.
Yeah.
Like, so just by removing all of those unnecessary things that a 90s toys possessed back in the day for gimmicks and stuff, just streamlines the toy even better. I really like, too, it has the image of him next to Beast Wars Dinobot, and it's a really nice size comparison there, too. I mean, obviously, we know today how small Velociraptors really are, but in the show, this was pretty accurate to how they were compared to each other. So I really like the sizing. It looks really good. With Primal, with Dinobot, it looks really nice. Again, it confirms all the things we confirmed before, like how the tail piece is removable, 3 separate faces. It looks spectacular. I don't know what more I could say. And adding the fact that it talks, I mean, this is one of those things that now I really hope we get an American release of this toy. I usually never pick up the American releases of Masterpiece toys unless there's some super superior difference between the two, like initially when we got Starscream or something, or like, you know, getting Soundwave from the American version got you all the cassettes.
I feel like if it doesn't make it to America, I feel like there's going to be some industrial, and you know, someone in the modding community, someone in the
yeah, of course,
you know.
Well, here's the crazy thing.
They're going to put in some David K.
David K just recently at conventions. Now he's what?
Go on.
Well, yeah, like just recently at conventions, he's been like, he has this like product that he sells at his tables at signings where it's like a button that you push and it says yes. And,
okay, that's really smart. I think that's really smart.
And so he's been selling those for a while now.
So it's just like the easy button, right?
Yeah, it's like the easy button from I guess was it from Staples or whatever.
There's other ones too. There's actually there's a ton of them that they've made. I know at my old job, it was like you'd press and it goes whoa whoa, but I can't remember what the word is the person's saying. But
so he made one with a Predacon logo on it.
Nice. And so he knows his audience.
Yeah, exactly. And so he sells them at his table. I don't know how much, but I'm pretty sure.
What I'm picking up.
Well, there you go. I'm pretty sure he's going to have them at TFCon. Coming up.
Hopefully he has enough
summer
for everybody.
So if he's able to somehow cobble something like that together, I'm pretty sure someone could, you know, crack open this thing. And again, just basing it on what I know of the previous ways that mold has been done, and looking even at this prototype, it's probably going to be all housed in that chest. And it's probably going to be all very easy to get to, and it's also going to probably be how you change the batteries for it, which will be 2 pill batteries.
I would also bet, well, not bet, but definitely we should be like just paying attention to his Twitter feed, paying attention to his Facebook feed, see what he says. It's like, oh, going into the recording booth, to see an old friend.
Yeah,
yes.
You never know.
Like, oh, it's coming.
Yeah. Either way, I think that's what would make this perfect. Again, it's not the same. It's not even like a nostalgic thing. Like, oh, I like that dub better because it's the one I grew up with. I just feel that Beast Wars, the way it was handled in Japan from a dubbing standpoint, was extremely comical. I mean, there was a whole sub segment with Optimus Primal or Convoy in that version called "Where's My Banana," and I don't even want to get into that.
Please don't.
Yeah, but that's just it. And it was just like an extra segment that the voice actors recorded as part of the show. They would do so much wacky stuff. It looked like they were having a good time.
Okay.
But at the same time, it's like it was.
Oh man, it really kind of how do I put it? It's like we always say like Beast Wars had the best writing.
Oh yeah,
it was amazing writing. It was awesome. And then someone's like, "Let me turn it to the Japanese dub and put on the subtitles." No, don't.
Yeah, well, that's it. It's very mystery science theater when you listen, because you have scenes like Transmetal 2 Dinobot stalking Black Arachnia in one of the season 3 episodes,
right?
And Transmetal 2 Dinobot had this tick where he sings when he's alone.
Okay.
Totally takes away from the scariness of that character.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean? So again, little things that that's their version. So it's the one sad thing is that this is a Japanese release initially, so we're going to get that voice. Where I love the Japanese versions of a lot of other Transformer series from Armada animated, not animated. Armada animated had a great intro.
Yeah.
Armada, Energon and Cybertron, which was Micron, Galaxy Force, Superlink, and just all those Japanese versions, even car robots as opposed to robots in the skies. Like, I love the voice acting from the Japanese side of things, but when it comes to Beast Wars, you can't beat that Ocean Group. That Ocean Group is unrivaled. They're the best. So, you guys chime in. Let us know what you think about these images now that we have of Megatron. And you know what? What 3 lines would you like to hear from an English? Obviously, yes is going to be one of them.
Oh,
but
you already. Oh, okay.
Yeah, well, obviously.
Now the next three.
Yeah. Then what would you want? The 3 lines that would be included with a Megatron if he spoke in English.
And remember, yes is excluded. You don't have to
yes
write
is excluded because that's a
given.
And maybe not no.
Do you want to do our 3 or do you want to? Just leave it up like that.
I rather hear what people want to say because I don't want to influence it because I have my own like in my mind of what I would like, but I don't want to influence it too much. I want to hear what other people would say because then I might be not thinking of something.
Right.